Hi everyone, so today we're going to be having a little bit of fun with the alphabet and letters. So to start off with, we're going to do a little warm-up and we're going to be using the vowels A, E, I, O and U. So we'll start off very slowly and you can speak with me. A, E, I, O, U. 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 A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. Well done, everyone. So now we're going to be thinking of the alphabet and we are going to be playing the game called categories. But to do that, we're going to need to divide ourselves up into small groups of 2 or 3. If you are at home, you are going to play with either mum or dad or gran or a younger brother or sister. If you are at school, your teacher is going to divide you up into small groups of 2 or 3. And if you are in a Zoom lesson, your teacher is going to put you into breakaway groups. So while you're busy with that, I'm going to pause the video. To play the game categories, what you're going to be doing is you listen carefully to the category that I am going to give, and then you take it in turns to come up with one word that belongs in that category. So for example, if I was going to give the category boys' names that begin with B, one person would say Bradley, the next person could say Barvin, the next person could say Bobby, and you keep going until somebody makes a mistake. The teacher is going to be pausing the video at the end of each category that I set, and then you will play, and then she will start again with the next category. So, our first category is going to be girls' names that begin with J. Oops. And the next category is any country. The next category is any city. A nice and easy category, any fruit. The next category is any vegetable that begins with the letter C. The next category is anything that you would find in your mom or dad's boot of their car. The next category is surnames of people at your school. The next game is a word game that you are going to be playing with your group. How it works, you will start with the word that I give you. The first person to play looks at the word that I have given and looks at the last letter in that word. So for example, if I've given you the word cat, cat ends with a T. Now that person that is going to start the game will give a word that begins with T. For example, tent. Now, tent ends with another T, so the next person has to come up with another word that begins with T, so they could say turtle. Now, turtle ends with E, so the next person's turn, they have to come up with any word that begins with an E, so they could say excellent. Once again, we are back to a word that begins with T, and so on and so on. You're not allowed to say ums or ahs, and you're not allowed to pause or repeat a word that has already been used in that round. So, are you ready? We're going to be starting the game with the word lady. I'm sure you found that game a little trickier than you thought it would be. So now what we're going to do in our groups, we are going to be doing an alphabet story. The first person to start speaking will have to start a story and say one full sentence to start the story. Their sentence is going to begin with the letter A. The next person is going to be continuing that story, and their next sentence is going to begin with the letter B. The next person would be starting a sentence that begins with the letter C, and so on until you get to the end of your story where your last sentence begins with a word that starts with the letter Z. It's quite a tricky exercise. Let's see how far each group manages to get. Good luck. Now, the next game and the last game that we're going to be playing today is a letter story. So your group will decide on what letter they want you to have as your story letter. So let's say my group had decided that I was going to have to tell a story using P a lot in my story. My story might start something like this. Poor Peppermint Patty plodded pitifully to the purple pond and sat on the pink pillow that she had plopped into the water. Get the idea? It's not so easy. I would advise that you speak slowly and carefully as you go. So your group is going to take it in turns to each have a turn to try and tell a short story, and your group is going to tell you what letter each member is going to have. Right, have some fun. Bye. So to end off this lesson on letters in the alphabet, I want you to use your fingers to make the shape of letters to try and spell out the word goodbye. So you would use your fingers to make the shape of the letters, like an O would obviously be that, and you are going to try and spell out the word goodbye. And that's my cue to say goodbye. Goodbye.